Eala overwhelmed by Filipino love. Glad impact remains positive. In a country of more than 7,000 islands, home to over 110 million Filipinos, sporting gems are everywhere. But not all of them emerge as pink diamonds. Eala is one of the rare ones. Forged by pressure and fueled by grit and patriotism, Eala has risen above her peers, drawing all eyes after a stellar 2025 campaign, the most successful of her young career so far. Her breakthrough sparked an outpouring of support from Filipino fans worldwide, highlighted by a mural, multiple accolades, and even the staging of the inaugural WTA 125 Philippine Open. Still, the 20-year-old continues to navigate through the attention with humility and gratitude. I'm slowly becoming more aware of the gravity that people say I have here. This is my home, so it's hard to feel like I'm all this and all that, Eala said during a press conference at the Rizal Memorial Complex. Every time I come home, I feel warmth. It's a familiar atmosphere. All of this attention is quite new, especially after the success of last year, she added. It's a learning curve for me to figure out how to deliver. Now ranked WTA number 49, Eala has welcomed the surge of fan support, viewing it as proof that she is making a positive impact beyond the court. But it's a really good problem to have, she said. It means I'm doing well, making people happy, and touching lives in a certain way, so I'm happy about it. The Southeast Asian Games gold medalist was also thrilled to learn she had been featured in an art installation alongside Filipino sports icons Manny Pacquiao, Olympic gold medalists Hidilyn Diaz-Naranjo and Carlos Yulo, and other national greats. I feel very flattered being alongside so many great names. It's hard to grasp, Lalo Na the mural, Eala said. It's my first time seeing something like that, and I'm very proud to do what I can. I'm so happy to be alongside those great athletes, she added. The 5'9", seeded number 2, opens her campaign against Russia's Elena Chereva in the main draw of the WTA 125 tournament at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. Eala, overwhelmed by Filipino love, more than a tennis star, a movement. At just 20 years old, Eala has become something rare in Filipino sports, a living symbol of possibility, pride, and rising Filipino excellence on the global stage. She is not just a tennis player hitting balls across a net. She is the bearer of dreams, the spark of inspiration for young Filipinos, and a reminder that greatness can come from anywhere, even humble beginnings in quieter corners of the sporting world. And now, as she reflects honestly on the overwhelming support she has received from her countrymen, Filipino love, as she calls it, her reaction isn't vanity or entitlement. Instead, it's humility, gratitude, and a deep acknowledgement that her journey has become bigger than her own career. The rise of a Filipino icon. Alex's rise in women's tennis has been rapid and remarkable. In 2025, she sprinted into the global spotlight with a series of milestones that seemed almost cinematic. She became the first Filipino to defeat former Grand Slam champions at a top-tier tournament, the first Filipina to reach a WTA Tour semifinal, a winner of the Southeast Asian Games gold medal in women's singles, a historic first in 26 years for the Philippines, a breakthrough athlete who cracked into the WTA top 50, achieving a world ranking of number 49. These achievements alone would be enough to define a generation of athletes in any nation. But in the Philippines, a nation that reveres its champions not only for trophies but for what they represent, Alex's story took on something deeper. Sport in the Philippines is part of the national fabric. Legends like Manny Pacquiao, Hidilyn Diaz, and Carlos Yulo are etched into the collective psyche not only for their success but for how they reflect the spirit of the Filipino people. To see Alex's name mentioned among such icons, her face in murals, her matches watched by millions, is not simply admiration, it's emotional ownership. It's as if the whole nation is rallying around one of its own children who has gone out into the world and succeeded, overwhelmed by love, and learning to carry it. Despite the accolades and the affection, Alex has spoken candidly about how the surge of attention can feel overwhelming. She admits that the gravity of what people say about her, the expectations, the comparisons, the pride, is something she is still learning to process. This is my home, she explains, so it's hard to feel like I'm all this and all that. Her humility here is striking because it highlights a paradox many young stars face, being both a public figure and a private person. On one hand, the support is empowering, a reassurance that she is doing something meaningful, On the other hand, it carries a weight that goes beyond simple sports performance. Yet Alex frames this not as a burden but as a really good problem to have, because it means she's connecting with people, making them happy, and touching lives in ways she hadn't imagined. This perspective is itself a lesson, not just for aspiring athletes but for all young people grappling with the pressures of visibility in a digital age. Eala's mindset suggests that impact isn't only about winning trophies. It's about how you carry yourself in the face of support, expectation, and sometimes pressure. More than tennis, a cultural moment. Tennis has never been the most popular sport in the Philippines. Basketball, boxing, volleyball, and even billiards have long dominated public attention. And yet, because of Alex's success and personality, tennis has begun to attract new fans. Her presence even helped make possible the first WTA 125 event in the Philippines, bringing high-level professional tennis back to Filipino soil. This shift is significant. Young Filipinos who may have never considered tennis as a path now see someone who looks like them, speaks their language, and understands their identity thriving on the global circuit. It's one thing to read about success. It's another to see it happening in real time. That visibility creates ripples, sparking interest, investment, and belief in what was once perceived as unreachable. Beyond the court, she's become a cultural ambassador. In fashion, even small gestures like incorporating the sampaguita, the Philippine national flower, into her attire. She carries symbols of her heritage with pride and style, reminding the world where she comes from and why it matters. The heart of the movement. What's perhaps most remarkable about the fervor around Alex isn't just that she wins. It's how her journey resonates on an emotional level. Social media and public discourse reflect something deeper than mere fandom. People aren't just cheering her matches. They are investing their hopes in her narrative. There are thousands of posts celebrating her achievements, expressing pride, and even relating her struggle and perseverance to their own lives. Some fans have described how their families, even those who don't typically follow tennis, have gathered to watch her on television, echoing moments once reserved for the nation's biggest sporting heroes. This is the essence of her impact. She's igniting national pride and personal inspiration, and showing what's possible through hard work, resilience, and humility, a platform she embraces.